Hello, friend, and welcome to episode number 21 of the VIP Collective. On today's episode, we sit with Johanna, lead planner of Johanna Leigh Weddings and Events. We chat with her about her journey into the industry, as well as her background that really sparked her passion for wedding planning. We hope you enjoy the show, and as always, feel free to give us one of these. And you can also hit subscribe so you don't miss next Wednesday's episode. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Enjoy the show. Shall we be ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
To the VIP Collective. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'm glad you could carve out some time to come and sit and chat with me.
Yeah.
So for everyone who is listening and watching, we are sitting with, so it's Johanna Sharpe, but from Johanna Leigh Events.
Weddings and events.
Weddings and Events.
Yes.
So is Leigh your middle name?
Yes.
Or maiden name? Middle?
Middle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we met each other recently at a pretty interesting networking event.
Yes.
There was a few of us there, and we got to chatting, and then, and we hit it off.
Naturally,
and we have an opportunity to work together coming up in a few weeks. So
excited.
Very excited that you can come by and we can chat. So why don't you give a little bit of a background and rundown of like what your story is, what you do, who you are.
Sure. So I am a weddings and events planner. My focus of my business is weddings. I do corporate as well. Basically my story. You want to know about my story?
I'd love to hear your story.
Okay. So my story evolved about 10 years ago, or a little bit over that. And I started with basically doing an internship in human resources at a really large luxury hotel chain.
Can you say which one?
Fairmont.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. So I did an internship there, and it really exposed me to, all of the human resources behind the whole company. So, and doing all of the engagement programs for the company and interviews and all of that. And it was really exciting, a great opportunity, but I just decided, I kind of wanted to do something more with it. So, but noting on that, I actually did my first event through that job. So that's where I really realized, like, oh my God, I want to be an event planner. Oh, cool. So that was kind of my...
What was it? What was it that was like cool about it that you enjoyed so much?
It was more of a corporate event, and it was for executives across the company. So I helped manage that and work with the venue on executing the whole event. So I just love the details, and I really kind of got immersed in the planning of that. And so it really wasn't the focus of my business or focus of my job at the time. So after that event, I decided, I want to do something more. I think I want to get more into the hotel operations of things. Because, you want to be an event planner, but you need so much more experience than that. It just isn't just hopping into that role, and I knew that. So I decided to get more into the operations side by going to another company, another luxury hotel chain. Okay. And I did a lot of work with, a lot of A-list celebrities. I was running around for them. I was immersed in film festival, and it was a lot of, crazy stuff happening. But that job really is what made me who I am today, to be honest, because I got the best training through that job on how to deal with luxury clientele, celebrity clientele, really kind of understanding the service behind delivering the service for those people and those guests and all of that. So that's kind of where it all came from. Through that job as well, I was exposed to events and doing that. And then as I continued my career, I ended up in the catering and events department in a hotel. So again, that was really kind of understanding the background on how, you know, catering and events operated from a banquet side, from a food and beverage side, and, you know, just venue execution. So that really was a great experience and kind of where my career kind of took off. And so while doing that, I worked with other event planners, and I did day of with them, and I really freelanced and did that. And then I had kids, and then I decided, I want to do my own thing. I think it's time. And that's how my company started.
Wow.
So it's a lot of background there.
But it's a lot of really great background because you're starting working in a venue, which can teach you a ridiculous amount, from catering to even load-ins and load-outs and actual organization, scheduling, like you said. So let's go back to the celebrity part here.
Yeah, I knew you love that one.
I can't let you get away with this one. So who did we see, and who was the biggest one that you saw?
Oh gosh, I've seen everybody.
Had you starstruck, in your realm of excitement for celebrities?
You don't even want to know.
Oh, I definitely do.
Oh gosh.
Who?
Well, I've seen everybody, and I've met everybody, which is awesome. And actually, let me touch on that. I saw Jason Priestley at the airport recently, and my friend was going bananas, and I was just so embarrassed because I was trained to keep your cool. Right. You can't talk to them. You can't introduce yourself. You have to treat them like a normal human being, because if they're there to stay with you, you can't
be a fan.
Be a fan, yeah. So I was sitting there at the airport with my back to them, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was so funny.
So working with luxury clients and things like that, what are some other tidbits for? Is it addressing by the last name? What's some stuff that you were actually trained? You mentioned a few things, but what were some other things that you were trained to
Yeah, for sure.
Be more conscious of?
Yeah. So, I mean, when you're dealing with luxury clientele and you're really trying to deliver that really amazing service to them, it's all about giving them everything they need. So it's basically never saying no. You can't say no. You always figure out an option. So if you need to fly something from the States on a private plane and get it to here because we can't get it here, you get it done. That's kind of the mentality, and that's the caliber of thinking that you really need to think about when you're dealing with higher profile and luxury clientele.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's never saying no, doing everything that you can, going above and beyond, just always treating people with respect and they matter. And
no selfies.
Definitely no selfies. Oh. I know. I don't have any.
You don't have any. So you just have to go based on memory on these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun though. I've been around. I used to work for Live Nation.
Oh yeah.
So back in the day, and I was at the amphitheater.
Amazing.
With a lot of the artists. And it would be funny because I would be in the elevator with someone, and it is you also don't want to come across you're super excited, but at the same time you almost want to give them a little bit of I know who you are, and I respect your work.
Totally.
But they probably get it all the time and they don't really care.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They're that's great.
Some do though, and some who are transitioning out of being a celebrity, I don't know, kind of making their way out. They're thanks for remembering that, or because they're getting older, or because they're kind of remembering their past. So
right. Did you ever have to research anyone coming in and know anything about them, even if they like the red M&Ms and all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Did you have to do some kind of research to find out, or not that in depth?
Well, yeah, you have to do a little bit of research, and you have to just know, because it's all about, exceeding people's expectations and wowing them. And, it's even like weddings. So if you are dealing with a couple and and you pick up on something and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I got to remember they love that, because then you can surprise them with that later and really give them that, really personal experience, so that they are, they feel special. For That's all of it. It's about feeling special and all of that. So
it's being thoughtful.
Being thoughtful. Yeah.
Just in general, in life, but the more thoughtful you are in picking up on cues of what they say and stuff that they like, then you can down the road deliver, which I think really
100%
can elevate your reputation, kind of, right?
Yeah.
If you're remembering little things.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Sure. And then it's personal, right?
So 10 years you've been doing the event thing.
Yes. Crazy. It's evolved over 10 years.
Yeah. So what did you go to school for?
I went to school for human resources, so that's why I started in human resources.
Got you.
Yeah.
Which school?
Well, I went to Western. I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time, so I did sociology there. So yeah,
everybody does sociology.
I know. It's
like,
it's what you
great.
do.
Yeah. But I've noticed the pattern of everyone in the wedding industry is really in sociology. I am not kidding you.
No way. There
Almost
you go.
like 50% of people who have sat across from me are sociology.
That's
so
funny.
There's your hot tip, is that, you know,
it's the study of people.
It's study of
right?
people.
You're always with people.
Yeah.
So
what's
and what's funny?
What?
Sociology is always a great one to go to if you're not really good at math.
Interesting.
So you do the sociology, and then maybe the connection is doing sociology is with the creative side. Because for me, I always excelled at the creative stuff. So I was like piano and, you know, music and art and dance and, you know, all of that stuff, whereas math was not my thing. So I went to school for sociology, and then mix that with creativity. You get a great event planner. Maybe that's what it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's so fun. Okay, so after school, then you were Fairmont, Human Resources, which is also working with people.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you've kind of learned how to work with like all these different personalities. Right?
You know what? And yes, absolutely. So human resources is important, and I find that the more you work and wherever you start and how you develop and those steps you take to get to where you are today is every little step that you take is imperative and kind of develops you into the person that you are today, right? So for example, human resources gave me that foundation of understanding people, understanding, you know, training and development and all of that. So I've carried that through to today to offer my help to other planners. I bring on interns. I bring on people who are looking to, you know, develop more into an event planner who don't necessarily have a lot of experience. So I'll bring them along as a second, aside from my main girls, and really try and train them, whether they want to stay with me, whether they want to go off on their own. But I think it's really crucial to develop those people and to bring them into the industry, because that is kind of what makes everyone move forward. So that's, I think that's the big part of, you know, my background, because I brought it forward to that today.
So it's like you almost have your own little training module program that you kind of run everyone through in a way, right?
I do. Yeah.
So if I'm an intern and I reach out to you and I can come on site with you, do I do any of the pre-process stuff, or is it mostly an on-site kind of thing that you're walking them through, or you have them do admin stuff as well?
We go through a training session, so I'll go through all of my anal tendencies, all of my training, and just like, you know, stuff that I've picked up throughout the years and I've learned over the last 10 years. And I really have, I've kind of laid it all out into a formal training session. So we do that. And then we, on site, they start with me doing day ofs. And they work with my assistant to kind of be the gopher and, you know, do their tasks, you know, put out table numbers, cross-check tables, cross-check the number of chairs per table, you know, all of that stuff. So we have that extra set of hands as well. And they're really learning hands-on stuff that they need to know. So because I found that extremely helpful as well throughout my years, because I did day ofs with wedding planners as well. Although I have all that background history with regards to venue and, you know, operation, doing day ofs is really important as well. So you learn, you know, all the tasks and like the way to do things on the day of a wedding. So
walk me through what your packages are in terms of like day of, are you doing month of, how does it work?
Yeah, so we provide three different services per se. So we provide full planning, so start to finish, full planning, and that's the one. It incorporates, you know, design. So we develop the whole design of the wedding, and then it also includes obviously the month of portion of the wedding and the day of, so start to finish.
Right.
When it comes to partial planning, so partial planning is a term that is used amongst a lot of wedding planners in the industry, but I actually name it custom planning because it is very custom. So it's not necessarily partial, it's customized based on what the client really wants and what they need. So it really takes a really great conversation to dive deep into what their insecurities are with regards to the planning process, what they really do need help with, and then I really kind of pull those elements out of there and I design a package that is customized for them. So month and day of is called month and day of, but for ours, we do month and day of coordination and bridal styling. So that is incorporating a bridal styling portion. Yeah. I have an awesome girl on staff. I love her to pieces. She's amazing. Since she is an official bridal stylist, she's worked in in bridal salons in the past. So I have incorporated that into our package because it kind of contributes to the whole experience in the morning. And she is just great at, looking at those details and fixing the dress, hanging the dress, doing the stationery, all of that, which really kind of helps tell the story. So for people and vendors like you that pop in the morning, it's all set and ready to go, and you guys can just do whatever you need with it, but at least we've kind of provided you with the foundation to the morning.
I see.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. So she would be on site with the bride in the morning specifically.
Yes.
And is making sure everything is set, dress, jewelry, everything like that for photographers and video.
Yes.
And then once she's dressed, she's tending to the dress and making sure everything looks good.
100%.
Is that
overseeing timing. Yep.
Okay.
Overseeing timing and dress and making sure she looks good. Traveling with her is by her side the whole day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah.
So can you opt for a package with her and without her, or does she come with the package?
She comes with it.
Oh, she comes with it.
Yeah, there's no option.
Oh, cool. So tell me about your team then. So who do you have on your staff?
Yeah, so I do currently have Nicole, who is my bridal stylist, and she is also my lead. So when we work together, if she often will become the lead planner, I always have her with me. More so, I have at least 2 people with me. It just really helps kind of make everything smooth, calm, and I'm able to kind of oversee what's happening so that nothing's missed.
Right.
And it's good. So I have Nicole, and I have a second. She's actually, her last day is on Saturday, which I'm really sad about.
Is she moving, or is she changing careers, or
she has a very demanding job right now.
Okay.
Yeah, in a venue that is taking up a lot of her weekends.
Yeah.
So she can't do it anymore. But I have another amazing girl starting with me on Saturday as well. So yeah, we're gonna train her up. She's in the industry as well. We all understand how it works.
Where did you find your newest one? Like, how do you go about finding for people to work with you?
Yeah, it's you post online, you put it out there. You want to, put it out for the world to see who's interested.
Yep.
And the resumes are amazing to look through. Just see what's coming in, what people are doing, and then a lot of it's connections as well.
Yes.
Right?
Big
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we found our editor who's on staff came through someone in the industry as well.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's really neat when you get to networking events and you just might say in passing, like, oh, I need a girl for this, or I need, someone to help me with this. And somebody knows somebody.
Oh, 100%.
So
yep,
it's always key, right?
Yeah, oh, totally.
Are you going to a lot of networking events? I know that it's like, it can be, I guess not so much in the summer. It's not as busy because everyone's working.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I know it gets pretty crazy in the winter. So do you find going to networking events helps with keeping in touch?
It does. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's really fun because you get to see everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's so removed. I was telling someone the other day how it's so hard for me to sit at home and behind a computer by myself. I am such a team player, and I'm always wanting to bounce off ideas. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of in the winter when it's slow, a little bit slower, it's really nice to have that networking experience and just that interaction with people in the industry so that you're able to keep your mind alive too.
We almost need our own wedding workspace for the winter months.
Yes.
A 6-month window of where anybody in the industry, instead of working from home, you can pick a day a week. It's open all the time.
Oh my God, that would be
And
fun.
you could just go and visit with everyone and work.
Yes, I know.
And work, wink, wink.
I would talk the whole time.
Drink wine.
Yeah, and drink wine.
But you would be able to just get that social element.
Right?
Because it is very much so that in our industry we are locked down mostly from November to March-ish.
Totally.
Depending.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Exactly.
That's an idea, right?
Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it.
The wedding workspace.
Yes!
Done. Let's go into the wedding day, because that's always fun to do. So in terms of design, so you're a big floral buff.
Oh!
Aren't you?
I am.
So what's the love of florals?
I just love flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I just love flowers. I think that they are a critical element to a wedding. That isn't necessarily the right way, but it's just my preference, and I think it kind of contributes to my style as well. So I'm a flower lover. I love it. I always try and, figure out how I can incorporate as many as I can into the wedding.
Right.
So,
do you help with the design portion of the actual? So if somebody comes to you and says, like, I want to create a huppah or a background for the ceremony, are you working with the bride to design something for that ceremony? Or do they come to you with an idea, or is the florist do most of it? How does it work?
Yeah, that's really tied into the whole design portion of our services. So it's really part of all of the design. So we would help with that. So we would go through and we would provide a whole design concept for the couple based on all of the information we've kind of divulged out of them and pulled out. So we would do the whole design board, and that would be a portion of it. So for example, a backdrop, we would design it for them and incorporate all of the elements, whether it's colors, textures, metals, things like that. We would really incorporate it all into that one piece, and we would draw it out for them. We would kind of piece inspiration pictures into there, and then that is the basis to bring to the florist. Okay. So because often florists get, receive requests that are either outrageous, or like brides have no idea what they want. They can't really communicate it. So that's our job, to be that middleman, to present it to the florist and be like, okay, here's what we want. And they are like, amazing. And that's when they start providing their input, and it really becomes a really beautiful concept.
It's the borderline of knowing the lingo of how to speak to a florist, right?
Yes.
Because if I went to a florist, I'm not too up on my lingo terminology. But like, I think that's what also you bring to the table, is that you're able to distinguish, okay, you're looking for this. I know how to speak to the florist and tell them what it is that you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Which is big.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's seasonality, and there's so many aspects to that, right? So when you go to a florist, and if you have a design concept and you're not familiar with what flowers are in season or this and what we can get in here in Canada, that's a true telling of how much you know, right? Yep. And that's kind of goes back to our conversation about experience and bringing forth your experience to other vendors, because that's how you gain the respect in the industry from other vendors. Because if you can't speak to the products and you don't have that experience, then people, will have a tougher time respecting you in the industry. And I find it's very difficult in the Toronto market. There's so many event planners, and I just encourage people to just get that experience so that they're able to do that.
Right. Yeah. And know their shit.
Know their shit. It helps.
So what inspires you when you're coming up with like design concepts?
Oh my gosh.
What does it for you?
I'm weird. Like it's strange.
It's just talent out of your head?
Oh my God. I think of the weirdest stuff. Yeah. I don't know. It's whether I'm walking down the street or whether I'm talking to somebody, these images just pop in my head, and I'm like, okay. And I think of these different ideas, and then that's where a concept kind of evolves, and I start to think about it, and then I start piecing it, and it snowballs. Oh, cool. So I'll often have a whole bunch of different concepts going, and I will have them in my back pocket. So whether it's for a client, whether it's for a styled shoot, that's how it happens.
I do like to ask this question because I'm always curious. Like, if I'm a new planner, and I want to know how to begin, what do you suggest for someone who's kind of jumping in or wants to jump in?
Definitely. So I would definitely suggest to get experience, and I would suggest getting experience whether it's through a venue, whether it's a hotel, a banquet hall, whatnot, or a caterer, or even a restaurant. There's anything to do with food and beverage, to be honest, and catering is so critical in how to operate an event. It really is the backbone to an event. So if you can really understand the operation behind that, you can really move forward in your career. I would suggest doing that. I would definitely suggest working with another event planner, like myself. But I would do that. Work with someone who's open to kind of training you and kind of showing you the ropes and get that experience.
And maybe not going into things thinking that you know everything, but really be open to learning,
totally.
Right?
100%.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because I think it can be a scary venture to kind of just decide all of a sudden that you're going to be, hosting these big events, but maybe have patience. And actually work for people and start learning it.
100%.
before you jump in and let everyone else make the mistakes. Right?
Totally.
And then just learn from their mistakes. Otherwise, you jump in, make your own mistakes, and then oopsie daisy.
Exactly.
Sometimes could happen.
Well, you only get one shot at it.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're not going to take the necessary steps to do it and you're going to jump into it, if you fail, it's really hard to come back from that.
True.
So you've got to really think about how you kind of want to move forward in your career. Weddings I love so much because it's really a true experience with a couple. You get to experience so many different personalities. That's a huge thing. With weddings, it's always, every couple is so different. And I am extremely good at kind of pulling people's personalities and really kind of working with them. And I find that with weddings, you're just dealing with so many different people, and I love it. And you really create that bond. When it comes to corporate's really exciting because you can get really creative. So creativity is one thing that I absolutely love doing. It's one thing that, I would love to do more of moving forward. And you get to experience with a lot more, whether it's colors, graphics, different stuff. And, that's kind of where my passion is. So cool. I love both of them for those reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always go hand in hand, though, a little bit.
They do,
and there's going to be elements you're going to love about each. But it's kind of nice to switch it up and get a bit of both.
Totally.
The best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Okay, and so now, lastly, where do we see you in the next few years? What are we doing? Yeah,
so in the next few years, I'm constantly growing my team. I'm always growing my team. So the more weddings we do, the more that is coming in. I would really like to start taking on more weddings and developing my team so that we can do, various levels of budgets. So that would be one thing that I'm kind of working towards, being able to provide my staff those opportunities. So 5 to 10 years, I would probably like to grow my business a lot bigger.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to see you do that and come back and visit.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Anytime for the ginge.
Right?
Yes.
Ginger nugget. Ding. So thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it because I know it is the thick of the busy summer. So it's always nice that you will carve out a slot of your time for me and
always
come back anytime.
Always.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And let's cheers, my
cheers.
dear. All right, guys, that's it for episode number 21 of the VIP Collective. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to give us one of these. And you can hit subscribe so you don't miss next Wednesday's episode. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.